This lesson is about thinking in new ways that help you see opportunities all around you. Entrepreneurs think, see, and interact with the world in very different ways than normal people because they see the world in terms of problems and needs that they can serve. For them, they see these as opportunities. This is the theme that we're going to come back to today in a few exercises. We're going to go through a few structured thought processes and brainstorming exercises to help you look at the problems and needs in the world around you. At this point, we're not going to get into the details of how you actually respond to that business. Don't worry about what your answer is or how you're going to solve it. That's for a later discussion. That's actually what your business is going to become. At this point, though, we need to know what need we're serving or problem we're solving. And that's all we're going to do today. So the first exercise that we're going to do, I want you to think about your personal life. What are the problems that you face or the needs that you have in your daily life? I want you to create a list of these. I'll give you a second to think about it. Now I want you to write this down. This is part of the brainstorming process. Create a list of the problems and needs in your personal life. One of them might be getting into college. It's a very common need for many people your age, and it's a difficult problem that you're facing. How do you get into college? Just identifying that and saying that there's an opportunity here that if you could help people get into college, you could do a great service and people would be willing to support your business. Another one might be transportation. Getting around the city or getting around your hometown to your school or back to your home. Either way, there's lots of different ways you could solve that problem, but that is a need, a very clear need that you need to have solved. So what I want you to do now is just pause this video and give yourself some time. Take as long as it takes. Build out a list. Minimum of 3, no maximum. As many as you want to list down is great. But think about all the problems and needs that you face in your daily life. Pause this video now and then come back when you're done. The next list we're going to brainstorm is about needs and problems in your community. Think outside yourself, bigger than yourself. What are the needs that your community has or the problems that they face? There's probably many examples of this in every community. So one example might be there might not be great access to healthy foods. It's definitely a problem or a need for many communities. Another one may be safe places for children to play. Another very important need. So what I want you to do again is pause the video and spend some time brainstorming problems and needs in your community. Whatever you see as really important that you want to solve. Spend some time and make a list. Minimum 3 and as large as you want. The longer the better. But spend some time now and build that list out as large as you can. The next exercise we're going to go through is thinking about existing businesses and how you can improve them. This is a strategy that many entrepreneurs and many businesses use to grow to an incredible extent. Taking an existing business that you know already works, there's already a lot of demand for that type of a product, but doing it in a new way that provides a huge, huge opportunity to take the business from an existing business. A great example of this is Blockbuster Video. They, at one point, were the largest video rental store in the entire country. They had stores all over and they did they did billions of dollars of business. But the problem with their model was basically that they had to actually build physical stores, they had to staff them with people who were expensive to hire, they had to buy the DVDs to put on the shelves, and then they required their customers to actually come to the store, taking a lot of time and effort to actually pick the DVD up and then return it afterwards. So that even though this model at the time was the best, there were many ways that it could be improved. And what Netflix decided to do is they responded by making it a much more efficient process. They got rid of the physical stores and they would just send you the DVD. So they didn't have to build the stores. They didn't have to employ quite as many people because they could just employ the people in the mailroom basically. And then they also decided that they would stream the video. And the result of this was that Netflix took over most of Blockbuster's business and made them go bankrupt. They took an existing model and innovated and improved it in a way that let them capture that market. Another example that you're certainly familiar with is CDs. CDs were the most common way that people listened to music for many years. But they had limitations. They could scratch, they could break. If you had a lot of CDs, which many people did, you had to put them in books, and it took a lot of physical space to carry them around. They also actually had to physically print the CDs and make the plastics, and the covers and all the details around it, which cost more money. So what MP3s did is they took this existing market of music that they knew lots and lots of people loved and bought into and spent a lot of money on, and they improved it by getting rid of the physical disc. Their solution was that they could distribute it digitally, they could send it to you over the internet, and it would be faster, it would be cheaper, and you could store thousands and thousands all on one small device. So again, a big innovation that changed the face of an existing industry for the better. So what I want you to do at this point is think about existing businesses that you interact with all the time. What ways could you improve them? What would you change about an existing business to make it better? So what I want you to do is pause the video again and build out a third list, which is the ways to improve existing businesses. The final exercise we're going to go through in this lesson is thinking about existing business models that you can borrow from and bring that idea into an existing business to improve it in some way. And not only is this a good idea, it's a really, really good idea when you can take a proven model that is shown to be effective and use it to your advantage. So an example of this might be the difficulty in attracting customers is the problem you're facing as a business in physically bringing them into your store. Maybe they love your product, but they don't want to actually take that physical step to come to your store or wherever they have to buy your product. To solve this problem, many businesses have instituted the time-honored solution of a delivery service. Not just restaurants anymore, but grocery stores deliver. Bookstores, Amazon delivers directly to your door. Even rental cars deliver with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And the reason they do this is because this proven model has worked in other areas, and they brought it into new industries and gave themselves a competitive advantage. Another example of this may be the high cost of salespeople. So if you're selling a product that doesn't have a high marginal profit, so every single item you sell doesn't return a huge amount of money, it may not make sense financially to actually hire a salesperson and have them go out and sell if they're not selling at a high volume. So some businesses have responded by just using the technology of a vending machine and putting their product in a vending machine. You can buy healthy food now in airports in vending machines, not just soda and snacks. You can buy hot coffee and hot cocoa. You can even buy photos in a photo booth using that same technology of a vending machine that eliminates the cost of a salesperson. So what I want you to do now is build your final list. You're going to think about ways that you can take an existing business and borrow an idea that is proven and that's worked in another business and integrate it into an existing business. So pause the video one final time and build out this list. A minimum of 3 and make the list as long as you want. How to bring in a new idea to an existing business. The problems and needs in your personal life, in your community, in existing businesses, and ways that we can solve those problems in existing businesses by borrowing from proven solutions. This is the way that entrepreneurs think of the world. They're constantly seeing it in terms of the opportunity, the problem they can solve, the need they can serve. I want you to think about this in everything that you do as you go around day to day. And as you see opportunities, I suggest you write them down. Carry a book or a piece of paper in your pocket and just note them. Some of the ideas will be great. Some of them won't be so great. And what you do with them is really what makes you an entrepreneur. How we're going to respond to that is what we're going to get to in the next lessons. But right now, you're starting to see the world a little differently.